Hi everyone, it's Bria.
And Brady, we're here to hear about some awesome instructional strategies. So, Bria, I heard about some great things this week. How about you?
Absolutely. What did you hear about?
Well, this week I had the opportunity of hearing about Padlet and also hearing about Bitmoji. How about you?
I actually got to meet with a teacher and talk a little bit about Flipgrid.
Awesome. Well, let's get to the recordings.
All right. Hello. This morning we have Christina Lockard with us. And what do you teach?
High school earth science.
Awesome. So we want to talk about a strategy that you said you were planning on using this year. So can you share with us your strategy and how you are currently using it with your students?
Sure. So I discovered Padlet through one of the professional development sessions at the back to school meeting. And I really like the format of it, so I'm using it in my Welcome Live lessons so students can share pictures of themselves and a short introduction about themselves so we can get to know each other.
That sounds great. So can you tell us what your expected outcome for using Padlet this year?
Well, really, I'm hoping to improve the engagement in my live lessons, so I'm hoping that students can get to know one another better and have more of a sense of community and participate more in my class discussions
That's
and
awesome.
activities.
Build that rapport.
Yes.
So also, can you tell us moving forward, how do you think this strategy can be used to impact all CCA learners?
So I'm hoping that it will give students an opportunity to get to know one another more, and maybe they can motivate each other to attend their live lessons, maybe join some clubs and field trips to get to know one another better, and that they feel more comfortable just speaking out and becoming more of a part of their classes.
Awesome, awesome. And then finally, how can teachers implement this strategy into their own classroom?
So, like, I am using this as an introduction to the year just to familiarize myself and my students to Padlet. And it's a great way for us to get to know each other, but I also want them to use it throughout the year. So, we'll use it in live lessons to give them a chance to collaborate more together. So, in a live lesson, I can use a Padlet to see students' ideas and for them to see each other's ideas. And then eventually, I want students to create their own Padlets so that they can collaborate on a project and create their own project or presentation using Padlet.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for today for telling us all about how.
Hello everyone, I am here with Rihanna. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Rihanna Churinchak. I'm teaching 11th grade English this year. In the past, I was teaching 9th grade English.
So, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and talk about a strategy that Rihanna is currently utilizing in her classroom. Can you tell us a little bit about your strategy?
Sure. From one of the PD sessions at the school meeting, I learned about Flipgrid and knew right away that I wanted to utilize this with my students, and immediately started jotting down on paper what I could do with it. As Bria's got up on the screen for you, you can see that I've been using this for my class introductions with my students. So they can come in, they can share some information about themselves.
Awesome. So what was your goal in utilizing this strategy?
I really wanted my students to be able to feel like they're part of a class. One of the things that I think we struggle with in our setting is just feeling so separated because everybody's at their own home doing their own thing all day long. And I wanted to kind of bring them back together a little bit. I'm hoping that this will help build that sense of community and give them just a little bit more comfort in our live lessons, especially being able to answer questions, work together, if we do any group activities, things like that. I wanted them to kind of have an idea of who they were working with.
Absolutely. And from an engagement standpoint, were you then able to see many of these kids? Did they then come to live lesson to see who their classmates were? Did that
So
pique
far,
engagement?
yeah. And I've had a lot of fun talking with them about their videos. Some of them shared different things that I've called out in live lesson. Oh, and we know that so and so does this, or hey, in your video you made me laugh when you did that, or whatever the case may be.
Awesome. Moving forward throughout the school year, how do you plan on utilizing this tool, and how do you think other teachers can use it?
I am hoping to use this for a lot of class discussions. One of the things that I notice, especially with the way that our discussions are set up in Connexus, is that sometimes students aren't comfortable answering, either writing their answers or one of the biggest things that I've run into in the past is with our transgender students who have their name pop up as it is in Connexus, but that's not the name that they go by. So by using the discussions in this way, not only can they really interact with one another, but they can put their name as they prefer to be called. So I think it'll give them a lot more comfortability in doing so. And I'm hoping that it'll help to really foster that discussion rather than, hey, great job. They can respond to one another, they can really interact, see each other. They'll have to put some thought into it and to think of what they want to say before they just go and type out a bunch of random words. The option.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to meet with us today. If anybody wants more information on the strategy, reach out. Thank you.
How to use Padlet.
Thank you. Nice.
All right. Hello, and today we have,
Lauren Schmidt,
and you teach?
English 9.
Awesome. So today we wanted to talk to you about a certain strategy. What's that strategy you're using this year?
I use Bitmoji with my students.
Awesome. So can you share the strategy and how you're currently using it with your students?
Sure. So I have created a Bitmoji account and I use the Bitmoji images in order to bring a little more fun and enjoyment to the webmails, hoping that students will read them more and pay attention to what's being said on there. Just makes it a little more colorful.
Definitely looks fun. I can say that by looking at that. So what's your expected outcome when using Bitmoji?
I hope to get the learners to look more at the webmails rather than just seeing that a webmail came in. I want them to actually look forward to receiving a webmail from me and expect that they're going to get something that's a little bit more fun rather than just words on a screen that they are not going to pay attention to anyway.
And hit delete?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
so maybe we can
Prevent
give them
the
that read.
delete.
Awesome.
Yes.
So moving forward, how do you think this strategy can impact all CCA learners?
I think Bitmoji is something where we can start to put it into the lessons as we move into having our own editable learning management system. I also think that it's something that we can use with the students and get to know them a little bit more because it is something that's free. It's a safe thing that they can do. Kind of get to know them a little bit more, get to know their interests, and communicate with them in a more practical way.
Very cool. And then finally, how can teachers implement this strategy into their own classroom?
I would recommend getting a Bitmoji account and using the Imgur accounts that we can have for free and uploading the images that they like that they can use in their webmails or in their live lessons and adding those to the webmails, to the live lessons, or to the message boards.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for watching, and thank you to everyone who participated in our first month of Coffee with Coach.
Absolutely. And don't forget to check the coach's website for additional support and tips and tricks. We look forward to more interviews. Have a great one.